by Toni Morrison, page 127. It was her good fortune to find a permanent job in the home for a well-to-do family whose members were affectionate, appreciative, and generous. She looked at their houses, smelled their linen, touched their silk draperies, and loved all of it. The child's pink nightie, the stacks of white pillow slips edged with embroidery, the sheets with top hems picked out with blue cornflowers. She became what is known as an ideal servant, for such a role filled practically all of her needs. When she bathed the little fisher girl, it was in a porcelain tub with silvery taps running infinite quantities of hot, clear water. She dried her excuse me, in fluffy in fluffy white towels and put her in curly night clothes. Then she brushed the yellow hair and joined the roll and slip of it, brushed the yellow hair and joined the roll and slip of it between her fingers. No Zine tub, no buckets of stuff, heated water, no flaky, stiff, grayish towels, washed in the kitchen sink, dried in the dusty backyard, no tangled black puffs of rough wool to comb. Soon she stopped trying to keep her own house. The things she could afford to buy did not last, had no beauty or style, and were absorbed by the dingy storefront. More and more, she neglected her house, her children, her man. They were like the afterthoughts one had just before sleep, the early morning and late evening edges of her day. The dark, delicate, more lovely. Here she could arrange things, clean things, line things up in neat rows. Hear her foot flop around on deep piled carpets, and there was no uneven sound. Here she found beauty, order, cleanliness, and praise. Mr. Fisher said, I would rather sell her blueberry cobblers than real estate. She reigned over cupboards, stacked high with food that would not be eaten for weeks, even months. She was a queen of canned vegetables, bought by the case, special fondants and ribbon, county curled up in tiny silver dishes. The creditors and service people who humiliated her when she went to them on her own behalf respected her, were even intimidated by her. When she spoke for the Fishers, she refused beefly slight, dark, or with edges not properly trimmed. The slightly reeking fish that she had accepted for her own family, she would all but throw in the fish man's face if he sent it to the Fisher's house. Power, praise, and luxury were hers in the household. They even gave her what she had never had, a nickname, Polly. It was her pleasure to stand in her kitchen at the end of the day and survey her handiwork. No one there were soap bars by the dozen, bacon by the rasher, and revealing in her tiny pots and pans and polished floors. Hearing will never let her go. We could never find anybody like Polly. She will not leave the kitchen until everything is in order. Really, she is the ideal servant. Pauline kept this order, this beauty for herself, a private world, and never introduced it into her storefront or to her children. Then she bent toward respectably, and in so doing taught them fear of being clumsy, fear of being like their father, fear of not being loved by God, fear of madness like Charlie's mother. And to her son, she beat a loud desire to run away. And to her daughter, she beat a fear of growing up, fear of other people, fear of life. All the meaningfulness of her life was in her work, for her virtues were intact. She was an active churchwoman, did not drink, smoke, or carouse, defended herself mightily against Charlie, rose above him in every way, and felt she was fulfilling a mother's role consciously when she pointed out their father's faults to keep them from having them, or punished them when they were showed any slovenliness. No matter how slight, when she worked 12 to 16 hours a day to support them, and the world itself agreed with her. It was only sometimes, and then rarely, that she thought about the old days, or what her life had turned to. There were musings, ideal thoughts, full sometimes of the old dreaminess, but not the kind of thing she cared to dwell on. I started to leave him once, but Sam came up. Once after he tried to set the house on fire, I was all set in my mind to go. I can't even remember now what ailed me. He sure ain't give me much of a life, but it wasn't all bad. Sometimes things wasn't all bad. He used to come easy into bed sometimes, not too drunk. I make out like I'm asleep, 'cause it's too late, and be taking $3 out of my pocketbook that morning or something. I hear him breathing, but I don't look around. I can see in my mind's eyes his black arms thrown back behind his head, the muscles like great big peach stones sanded down, with veins running like little swollen rivers down his arms. Without touching him, I be feeling those ridges on the tips of my fingers. I seize the palms of his hands to granite, and the long fingers curled up and still. I think about the thick, knotty hair on his chest, and the two big swells his breast muscles make. I want to rub my face hard in his chest and feel the hair cut my skin. I know just where the hair grows slacks out, just above the big navel, and how it picks up again and spreads out. Maybe it'll shift a little, and his leg will touch me, or I will feel his flank just graze my behind. I don't even move even yet. We're gonna stop at 1:30. This was Blue Aside by Toni Morrison. Make sure y'all like, share, follow, subscribe, all that. Make sure y'all enjoy your day. Keep thriving. The best is yet to come.